Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some neon tribal tattoo inspired nails. So to start off, I'm using these extra long stiletto nails. I'm just filing the tip a little bit to make it just slightly more pointier. And then I'm gonna go ahead and buff the surface of all of the nails. So with all of my press on nail videos, I do the same process. I just like to show it just in case this is the first video that you're watching of mine. So this is how I prep press-ons, whether I'm making it for others or I'm making it for myself. So I just wiped off any debris with an alcohol wipe. You can just use acetone or alcohol. Make sure you have a nice clean surface. Usually I would start with a base coat, but I'm not going to apply a base coat. I'm using this builder gel. So it's a builder gel in a bottle, and I'm using this because I want to make these nails just a little bit more thicker. So I'm applying a nice thin coat, and I do go back and apply a second coat, allowing to cure in between. I will leave the link to that builder gel below. I really like it, and you can actually use it for more than just applying to the top of nails. So it does leave a little sticky layer. I'm just using an alcohol wipe to wipe that off, and then I'm going to begin polishing the nails. So I'm going to start off with applying a white color, and I'm using a neon green over this, and the green is a little bit on the sheer side, and I like to apply a white base coat over certain colors just to make it pop a little more, or sometimes I will just end up having to use one coat of the color instead because I applied a white base coat. In this particular case, the white base coat helped a little bit, but I still ended up having to apply 2 coats of the green to get the color that I desired. So the only color that I'm going to be using for the remainder of these nails is black. So I'm just applying some black gel polish to a piece of aluminum foil, and then I'm going to get started with the thumb. So I'm just setting aside a few brush options. You want to use a skinny brush for this design, and I actually ended up using this brush the majority of the time, but definitely take out a few brush options if you have and see what works best for you. This design needs to be done very neat, and you don't want to have a brush that's too thick. So right now I'm just making a rough draft of the lines. Don't go too thick at first, and don't worry if you have like some lines that are a little bit crooked like you can see I do. I'm gonna go back and make those lines thicker and clean everything up. Take your time. I actually had a huge cup of coffee and my hands were actually really shaky, so it was a little bit challenging at first. Then later on I got into the flow of things and my hands stopped shaking a little. So yeah, I don't recommend you drink caffeine before doing this design. So the rest of this video is pretty much self-explanatory. You guys can just watch as I do the designs, but I will give you some tips aside from no caffeine. Try to keep a steady hand. Take your time, but also, like I said, with that rough draft of the lines, you want to start off with that. Don't go in with drawing thick lines. Do a rough draft of the design you want to do, then cure that, and then go back in like I'm doing right now. And you see I'm making the lines thicker and just filling everything in. Make the points, well, the ends of it pointy, and just try to make the lines as crisp and clean as possible. Another thing with designs like this, if you have a few lines that you feel comfortable with, go ahead and cure that and then continue with the rest. The last thing you want is for you to fill in all these lines and then you mess up at one part and you have to wipe everything completely off. So you can fill in a couple of lines, cure that, go back in, fill in the rest, cure, and so on and so on. You also don't want to add too much gel polish to your brush. Again, the design has clean lines and there's curves to it, so just be careful. I am a little heavy-handed sometimes with gel polish, so I had to really watch it. Something I like to do is dip my whole brush in there and then wipe off all the excess. I just like for the brush to be fully saturated with gel polish, but also not dripping polish. So you don't really want a big blob at the tip. However, if you do find you have like a blob at the tip of the brush, just start off with the middle portion of the line, not the end of the line, if that makes sense. So you see how I have some lines curving down and they go into a point. Don't start off at that point. Start off in the middle and then taper out to create that little pointed end. So as far as the design options, what you can do is go on Google and type in tribal tattoos. A whole bunch of different tattoos are going to pop up of this style. So what I did was I usually just create inspiration boards when I do nails, and I take different inspirations, or some photos will inspire me to draw a certain thing or a line or whatever. So in this case, it's just a bunch of lines. I just looked at some designs that I liked and added my own twist to it. So if you see a design you like, you can maybe take away a line or add little curves. It just play around with it. You're gonna see by like probably the second or third nail, you really got the hang of it basically, and it's going to be pretty easy to kind of flow with it and add lines and curves, and you see there's different little elements to this design. So just play around with it and try not to overthink it. Most important, please don't overthink it. So I wanted to add just a little bit something else. I am just taking my drill and drilling two tiny holes on the side. I think this is the ring. Yes, my ring fingernail. And I'm just going to be adding two O-rings to it. And because I just like doing so much work on nails, I wanted to do a little bit something more. And right now I'm applying a matte top coat. So I'm going to do this with all of the nails. I did test out the nail first. I wanted to see how it looked. Applied a matte top coat, cured that, and then I am going over the design only with a gloss top coat. So yes, it is a little bit extra. Do I recommend it? Yes, it made the design pop. I love how they came out. Just put some gloss gel polish in a piece of aluminum foil or something. Take your skinny brush and go over the design. The best part is you already have your design laid down, so all you have to do is trace it. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I love how it came out. So I did the remaining nails and I am done with this set. Just look at that. That is so gorgeous. I love them so much. I think I'm gonna do the other side, like a neon pink or something, but I love them so much. Let me know what you guys think. I will probably be putting these for sale at my website. All of the information is in the description box. I will be making them available for different lengths and nail shapes and sizes and all that good stuff. But thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.